Hi. Okay, I'm going to do one more, maybe two more collective reads before I can get back into the full sign reading schedule. We're in the day after, I'm recording this the day after the full moon, which was, everybody was wanting it to be in Aries, but what's even more interesting is if you go into Sky Safari or Stellarium, either as an app or on desktop. For Stellarium, Sky Safari is only a phone app. The moon was actually exactly in between Pisces and Aries. It was actually what's known as a void of course moon. It completely void of course is when it's neither, it's in that little gap. Not that there really is a gap, yeah, but energetically, it's kind of in the no man's land between one constellation and the next. So combined energies, yes, like a mix, but like a hot mess. So between 12th and 1st house. So very interesting moon. Totally played out for me. But again, the effects of the moon, I guess astrologically we say that you could feel them a couple of days beforehand and a few days afterwards. The way it affects water is moon affects the water 12 hours after it's been 12 hours after the fact, yes? So it should be how it affects us. But anyway, so let's do a reading for the energy that follows that between now and what is deeply problematic festival energy. But actually there are problematic festivals throughout the whole year. But we're definitely heading into that All Hallows Eve energy, followed by All Saints Day. And if you've ever had to cope with anything in cult ritual abuse, then it's one of those heavy times. But everything can be used towards good. So let's see what we want to hear. I've got multiple decks out. It worked well last time. It came up with such an interesting... this deck in particular, the Aboriginal Spirit deck, one of Mel Brown's decks, totally threw me a curveball. I've got Susan Sheppard's Phoenix cards. I've got Alana Fairchild's Wild Kuan Yin, and I've got, let me be fair to him, Engracia, his Divine Doors, Engracia. Yes, okay. So, what do we want to start with? And then I've got Tattoo Tarot, and I've got Lenormand nearby, and my little playing card deck with animals energy in it. Let's start with what is lightest. Let's get a few doors. And we'll read them at the end. Oh, okay. We've got orange energy. Now this might have something to do with Orange Lodge, House of Orange, but it might, and it has everything to do with, yes, the time of year. Another thing I want to point out, Sun is still incredibly, very much so in Virgo. I combine tropical with sidereal. And the tropical season of Libra does not overlap with the sidereal. And sidereal is when the sun is actually passing through the constellation. There is no overlap between those two. No overlap at all. So the Libra season that you're used to, the sun is completely in Virgo all the way through it. It's going to be in Virgo for another few days, 5-6 days at least. Well past heading into the tropical Scorpio season. And then within the Scorpio season is the sidereal, the proper constellation of... the transit of the sun through Libra. Now he's got heavy root work on this door. I'll hold it up so you can consider it, right? And a lot of tone on tone. What's up in there? Yes, Buddhas. You are the Buddha, right? What else can I see here? I don't know what he's holding. Might not be holding anything. I'm not sure. But yeah. Alright, so that's one. Get the focus back. Let's see if we might not overdo it with the doors. I have a blue door right on top, which means there's possibly a message coming through from a loved one. Oh, we have Buddha again. Okay, we had that last time. So we're still needing to meditate. Okay, last one. More root. Good Lord. We are doing root work. Look at this. Look at that. I'm going to say more Buddha statues above. I mean, this is so clearly coming from a similar. So there is, even the striations here. Okay. Very solid theme there. 3 for 3. 3 for 3. So you're very much your own ability to be very much in power, and yet submissive at the same time. Let's see if Kuan Yin wants to add anything to that. Maybe not, but we'll see. Emphasis on some very muted tones there. Yes. Yeah, tone on tone. So the fine details, yes, not stark contrast. Okay, she just popped right out there with tone on tone white. Okay, consider this as we go. And I will read them after, but yes, snow on snow. So this is possibly predicting what's coming in through the winter. We've got clouds. Yes, the white bird, the bison. Okay, always the sense of flying and freedom with these cards. I'll remember to get the... Oh, I gotta turn my other light on. That'll help. Does that get... No, it doesn't get rid of the shadow. But... Okay, so lots of tone on tone. Alright, let's get a focus there. And let's see if we can rest her up against my fabulous pink spider that was waiting for me in the dollar store. Dollar Tree to be exact. And let's get into the Phoenix cards next. Okay? Give them a shuffle. What's at the bottom? Oh, right, yes, Pele. Hawaiian. And what I'll do is, I think let's have some fun and let's leave it, well, let's see how it flies out. If it flies out upside down, then we will leave it a mystery till we've got through the tarot. And one more. Okay, alright, Susan. This is not how she designed these cards to be used. However, so that's what, okay, that one is, let's go with that one. Beautiful. Beautiful. And let's do the same with Mel's Aboriginal. What are we splitting at? We're splitting at frustration and confusion. Okay. Deception, again, frustration, stillness. And whatever's flashing at the camera, if you catch it, then that's part of your message as well. Okay. The main message. Mel also prefers to have cards selected. So these cards are not designed for this either. Right into the flames. Oh, this is going to be a bit of a story time tonight. We might have to be selective, but we've got red, green, and blue. Wow. Visible light. Well, actually, red, we are not actually biologically supposed to be able to even see. Okay, color mixing. If you're working online at all and you are producing anything digitally, designing anything, and get that candle relit, because this is an RGB red, green, blue. You could be CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, but we've got, okay. All right, so we have Green Man energy. I was just studying Green Man, I think in July. Earth, Sun, Love. This is a very, I love the meaning of this card. It will probably catch you off guard. And Leadership. Okay. Well, we see those clearly enough. Let's put Phoenix up. And just kind of layer everything up here and create a bit of a hot mess. And I will read them out after. Hang on a moment here. Okay, I'll just make sure we got some nice sharp focus there. I always keep Kali at the top of this deck, the Tattoo Tarot, because Kali, the Devil card, because this Devil card is Kali, and Kali is the person I grew up answering to Jesus, and I think I still do answer to Jesus, but Kali showed up in my home a couple of years ago, and I do a lot of work in her, basically in her energy. So the journey to figuring out how, you know, who God is. But so the Devil card in this deck for me is, and this is the first deck that ever spoke to me through tarot, called me to it, and it's because of Kali, and because Kali is in this deck. How do I know she's in this? She's that card because they use the tongue motif, the tongue sticking out, and that's a Kali symbol for anybody that doesn't know. Rolling Stones use the Kali tongue, but she is defender of children in particular, protector, and a demon eater, and does not like children being harmed, so she's really up against it. And that's the kind of work that she brought me into, indirectly, and sometimes very directly. Okay, so I think I've worked all my energy into these cards. Let's see what they want to say further to this. Okay, all right, and I do sort of a geomancy mix with these cards, where the position that they fall matters to the way we read them. So something's in progress. We're going to find out whether it's got a long ways to go, or yeah, no, not long at all. Wow. Okay, nearly upright. And we're starting off with the Fool. Wow. Okay. Very strong energy. So coming straight out of that void of course moon between Pisces, 12th house and 1st house. Okay. This is intense. Now. Okay. And jumping right out to see that. Now this is. Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay, what else would we like to say? This is not quite in the upright either. It's closer. It's got less to go. For me, this is Capricorn energy. This is 10th house energy for me. Completion, obviously total, like, stability beyond dreams. For me, earth energy is very connected to fairy worlds. Very connected to the ethereal, as much as it's combined with the material worlds. That's the fun of it. It shows, earth energy shows exactly how, just like green man energy here. Okay, and it's pointing right at the green man. They rely on green man, and even Parliament Hill, Senate, the Senate chambers in Canada's Parliament Hill. The chambers themselves have green men carvings all throughout them, because of course Masons run everything, and well, the Great White Brotherhood runs everything, and they love invoking that stuff. Not, but I green man is much older. It actually is as old as what we're looking at, if not older. Yes, when we get into these Asian Buddhist cards in the Divine Doors. So he's not unique to Europe. So there's a lot of magic in Pentacles. Just a lot. In fact, they... Okay, so this is similar to what the Eight of Swords did with Taurus back in May, I think it was. Absolutely. Okay, so Aquarian energy for me, but more importantly, 11th house and mastermind thinking. Very clear thinking in exactly the same position as the Fool. So, is it you or is it somebody else? Let's go to Lenormand and see. That gives a fairly good indication of whether it's your own energy or somebody else's. Squaring off. Okay. So, the Ace of Cups. The Gentleman. The Fresh Start is pushing against, it's stuck, or it's squaring off. There's pressure, there's something working against, there's something. We do have this heart repeating, yes, and it's in between. It's in between green and blue, but it could be work related. We have a 10 here, we have a 2 and an 8. The 2 of the partnership or the decision, and the 8 of the strength. But then the 10, so the completion and the fresh start. And a fresh start. Interesting. Anything else from Lenormand right now? To the floor. To the floor, and it flipped. And it's at an angle. Okay, the harvest. The scythe. You reap what you sow. It is what it is. It is what it is. But and it's another 10, right? And we have the Knight of Pentacles. So that progress of, interesting. Okay. Let's, now at the bottom of the deck I have the Bouquet. which is basically like a Six of Wands energy. And it's a 9, and it's proving yourself to everyone. But we do have a Queen here. The Queen of Swords. Well, let's take her. And we have a move that's suspended at the bottom there. Interesting. So we have multi-directions happening. We have coordination happening here. Yeah? Everything has its time. And everything has to be done in a certain progression. Like there's a necessary chain of events. I don't know what to get from the animal deck right now. I won't do anything unnecessarily. Let's see if there's... Actually, I kind of feel like that is... I feel like that's clear, and it's going to take enough time to get through these that I'm going to focus on them now. That's what I think. At the bottom of the deck here, I have 4 of Swords reversed, leading us back to the 3 of Swords. Doing the right thing. And of course, the 3 of Swords has that heart in it as well. But 4 of Swords. Well, let's see. What do we have at the top of the... we have the Empress. Very nice. Very nice. For me, the female aspect of God, or the female person of God. So something's ready. Something is ready. Let's just put her there. Something is ready. Absolutely. Something being created, just like I was saying with those. So let's get into, let's go to our mystery card. Let's start with Susan's Phoenix card. This is going to give us some background. These cards are either for, she created them for past life work. But I would say even just to use them geographically, ancestrally, whatever speaks to you the most in those options, okay? And let's restart the camera. All right, turning it over. I was just working with them today. Hoppy. Thank you. Beautiful. Grandmother Spider. Spider Woman. Spider Goddess. My pink spider. Me being pink spider. And of course Kali connects with spiders. And the reason I am pink spider is because I painted a giant pink spider, a magenta one, when I was 2. And got into such trouble for it that I stopped expressing myself for 13 years after that. And that's of course the start of my journey. I'm a 33. So I'm on a 33 journey in this lifetime. I think it's the only time I've been here. I wouldn't want to come back. But that's what my birth date adds up to, is the number 33. Okay, so Hoppy. Or Hopi. I was just, yes, the territory where the, well, I don't even want to drag Gabby Petito into anything, but she's a monarch. MK Ultra doll. The evidence is all there, and I was just finishing going through all of that. And Moab is on Hopi land, amongst other tribal lands. But yes, okay, so I'm gonna read. Yeah, I'm gonna read for this in all of the positions that Susan provides for, in the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus. So you know the way the planets affect you in your birth chart. Now what card is it? We have a 27. So a 27 and a 9. So proving yourself to everyone. Kachina Mask. This card choice in the Sun position represents the spirit of cooperation. Okay. Now is the time to pool your energies and work with others. It's time for you to surrender the self and concentrate on the higher good of the group. So which group? We have that referenced here. So this King of Swords. And, okay. The focus is no longer on the self, but is projected on the collective betterment of your tribe. To do this, you may have to give up attachments, especially those which serve only the lower self. Only when this is accomplished will you be able to leave the sacred circle and reclaim your holy right as an outstanding person. Now we have this leadership card right there. We have all that root work. We have Green Man here. Empress here. Okay. So that's in the Sun position, would be triggers and instincts. So if you're experiencing anything that's triggering you and pushing you and making you pissed off, we're going to get more into that because Mel Brown is Aboriginal. These cards now, however we want to say Australia, that's where these are coming from, and they always push hard. They're loving, but this is what love should do. Love should actually be the right kind of medicine, and they actually always push you where you don't expect to be pushed. The soul, now in the Moon position, which would be the conscience position for me, the soul radiates, with this card in the Moon position, the soul radiates the need to avoid conflict. This card choice in the Moon position indicates a sustained period of peace and regeneration. Okay. Regeneration, yes. And the root work on those doors. It's a time to enjoy your own company. You're feeling inordinately sensitive to all life forms right now, including the forces of nature. That's what all that, okay, so Green Man and all the root work, yes. But sensitive. Animals and pets can sense this ability. Oh, you know how I wasn't feeling any, for using my animal deck. I was like, I don't sense, okay. Oh, there's a card left behind from the animal deck. What do we have? The Four of Swords. Okay. Oh, I missed another one. Six of Swords. Upside down, reversed. Okay, so remember that. That's another 10 together, though. Okay. Animals and pets can sense this ability and are drawn to you. It's a beneficial time for you to work with both plants and animals. Interesting, given the time of year that it is where I am. But things need to be prepared properly and looked after properly where I am before winter comes, that's for sure. Okay, in the Mercury position, which for me is the imagination, the mind position, because the mind is the imagination, the problem solver. Let's see here. In the Mercury position, this mask is especially important in the Mercury position. Okay. Since it reveals you're still able to instill confidence and encourage others to believe in their own abilities. This card shows compassion. God, well, that's what they threw at us last week, was compassion. Okay. It's the sign of a polite, refined, and cordial mind. So if you're looking for a style in presentation, they're pointing out polite, refined, and cordial. There's nothing base or insensitive in your nature. You're able to relate to all sentient beings, and your speech is soothing, but you're also an enigma. Although you can understand others, few can truly know you on an intimate level. So if you're wondering how to present, then that's how to successfully present. It gives you the scope to reach as many people as possible. And you can work from there, because everybody has their own comfort zones, yes? Okay, wow. Okay, so then she's stressing how important it is, combining that card with the Mercury position. Let's go to the Venus position. You seek a gentle lover who appreciates the kind of harmony you want to bring to this world. You need a partner who can share your love of the earth and appreciate all the natural mysteries of our universe. Short, casual involvements no longer interest you. Instead, you seek depth, security, and spirituality. Don't be surprised if your partner initiates the idea of relocating to a different area or traveling to, interesting, the American Southwest. Because that region of the country is the location of many important past lives for both of you. Reconnecting with the power of the land can awaken a true spiritual rebirth. Okay, so either past lives or ancestors. So interesting. But yes, so compatibility. Okay, so let's go to the Saturn position. Now we have, because we have the heart. If we've had swords up, we have this scythe, and we have, yeah, no, that's the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so Virgo energy for me here. Saturn position. Still recording, okay? Yeah, we are. Relationships of all kinds present challenges right now. You're feeling a sense of deep restlessness in your life. Although you're usually patient with others, you're now experiencing a strange irritability or touchiness. Those feelings indicate that creative tensions are simmering below the surface. Ideas of great originality may seem to appear out of nowhere. Allow these ideas to take root and grow. Okay, so is there, especially because they're talking, like, I don't know if the, yeah, the RGB thing that hit, the color coding. Okay, and the fears around that. Let's go to, wait a minute, that was the Uranus position. Where the heck did the Saturn position go? Okay, I overshot. That was the Uranus position that I just read. So the ideas, that makes sense. Okay, I was like, that is very unusual for Saturn position. Here's the Saturn position. This is your time to shine. The positive energy you have unleashed in this lifetime and others is beginning to reap rewards. You feel in tune with the earth. Take part in celebrating the living planet. Find an especially majestic tree you can commune with and draw upon its energy. Cedar, oak, and cottonwood are wonderful choices. If you can't find one of these three, any tree will be fine as long as you like it and it likes you. And something's going to happen when you do that. It's not going to be a wasted effort, or not wasted, but it's not going to be a insular thing. It's going to, like, somebody's going to cross your path when you're doing it, or, you know, like, something is going to be initiated by you doing that. So now, if I can actually hit it correctly, the final reading for this card is the Pluto position. Through solitude, you've gained much experience and wisdom over the past few years. You finally integrated the many different selves or ghosts that have plagued your consciousness into a coherent whole. You can now stand strong in the eye of the storm. It's time to embrace the world in a more direct, human way. This card choice emphasizes, and you got to dig past so much to get to that. Yeah, really get to it. This card choice emphasizes a need to branch out and make new connections. Your vision will gain strength through the help of other active participants. The world is your arena. Learn how to work and play with other members of your tribe. But the question is, who's your tribe, right? So anybody else that you don't know, but that's involved in what you're involved in, right? Like if it were readings, then other readers, yes, reach out to them, dare to connect with them. It's like the way, I mean, I don't, ever since Gary V tried to pretend like the Illuminati aren't real, even though we don't need to use the word Illuminati, but, and he, you know, he was made to do that on purpose. You know, I had to stop following Gary Vee at that point, and I was waiting for that time to come. But, you know, the way he reaches out to, tirelessly reaching out to people that you shouldn't be afraid to reach out to. So that's what we have for that excellent card from Susan. And now we'll see what these add to it. I want to actually take a break between this energy and that energy because there's so much to take in. So let's, is that what I want to do? No, I guess I better get right into it. We went deep for a reason. Okay.